Is this from Death Squad Oslo? Do you ever think about what your life would look like now if Nate Marquardt didn't bring Callen on Tough 10? Did Nate bring?
It was Tough 14.
Tough 14.
Yes, Nate did bring me there, and that's how.
That's where we met.
Know each other.
Do you ever think about how life would be?
You'd find your way. You're the kind of guy that would find your way. I don't think you're the kind of guy. I don't think that I'm responsible for anything. You know, you're a business guy. You would have. I don't think.
I mean, I've been all right. I wouldn't
moving.
be flourishing like I am now.
This is awesome.
Yes.
But where would I be?
We have something special.
Where would I be? Where would I be with my podcast that got 19,000 downloads?
That's debatable.
You know what I mean? Or where would I be? So there's a chemistry.
Yes, the chemistry what makes this podcast work.
Part of like success, you know, as I get older, I realize is just the fact that I've been trying and failing so long, and I just keep like moving forward just the way you do. And you know, people like, you know, I know people come up to me and they say, you know, these shows in Portland, you know, I almost sold out, and you know, we're making money and doing this podcast, and you know, I'm on 2 TV shows. Man, I'm telling you, I was just thinking about this. Like I was thinking, like my wife and I were talking about this. My wife said, "You're too busy to get your own show at this point because you've got these 2 shows. The Goldberg's back, then you got Kingdom. You're doing. You got a podcast that's crazy successful. I can't even take a week off, and I got my road gig and all that stuff. And with that comes all the stuff." But for years, I was thinking about the empty years in this town where I didn't have a job, where I would go months without a job, where I would go through anxiety about, was this going to be it? And I was always trying. I was always in class. I was always trying to get better. I was always writing. there was this nagging thing where I would set these goals. They wouldn't come through. I'd set another set of goals. They wouldn't happen. But guess what? I was always moving in that direction. So now at 48, I meet Brendan. We share the same value system. We share the same sense of humor. We're kind of in the same direction. And so I finally met somebody who is as intense and works harder than I do and keeps his intensity as ferocious as anybody. And that's what it takes. Like if you just keep moving forward, the chemistry and all the moving parts are going to find their way. They're going to find a channel. And I think this podcast is an example of that. How many podcasts? Look, the 10-minute podcast is a huge success. It's great. I love it. And my podcast was so fun. And people are like, when is it coming back? And you know, maybe I'll do some more. But when I latched onto this and I realized how much time it takes, this was it.
But the thing is with this show, like, who was asking me? Someone's talking about the Reebok deal and this and 205. And I said, I think Rogan, I said, all I care about is the podcast. Yeah. All I care about is the fighting the kid.
Yeah.
I want to fight again. I want to make 205. But if the podcast is doing well because it's such a monster and we have such a following, that's all I care about.
Yeah. And it's growing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're growing.
We just had our biggest month ever. We went from 3 million downloads to 1.5 million downloads.
Crazy. Yeah. And that kind of stuff is awesome. And, you know, this is what I would say about getting successful. You are going to have years. If you're really after something, you're going to have fucking years of wasteland where you just feel like you're not going anywhere. That can happen. It's not waste.
It's not waste.
It's not waste. Keep changing your approach. If it doesn't work this way, change your approach. What are you doing wrong? Take an assessment. Look at how successful people do it, and then just kind of refocus and reshift your resources. Who are the people in your life that are taking 80% of your time and shitty time? What percentage of your effort is actually yielding to results? What percentage of your effort in your day is yielding to not getting results?
Well, I'll put it like this, Callen. How many times have you failed? How many times did you not get the job?
My life,
how many reads have you done? How many auditions have you done?
97% of my auditions have resulted in nothing.
How many times is the door shut on you?
97% of the time.
But you wait for that one time where it opens.
I keep showing up. I keep fucking showing up.
Relentless.
There's no other way. I don't know anyone successful who has not.
Who's had the easy road?
It doesn't exist. Mm-mm. The easy road.
This podcast isn't an easy road.
No. Try getting good at anything. It's not going to happen.
Nothing.
What I really love is getting better at something Like even boxing, like you laugh at it, but like the sparring the other day, did really well. I never thought I could do what I did because I'm just been learning. It's just a language. Am I going to be a pro? Fuck no. Doesn't matter. Point is that when I put on headgear, my heart starts beating. But guess what? Getting better, learning the language of it. Doesn't matter what it is you choose. Get somebody who knows how to teach you in anything you want to do and follow good examples. Keep changing your approach. You can. That's the other thing is like you set your goals. If you keep them in the back of your head for a long time, you'll start moving in that direction. You'll become the person you want to be.
It just depends how bad you want it, really.
Yeah.
If you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that's why I say,
But to answer his question, I didn't even know what a podcast was until I met Bryan. Literally, when he'd asked me to do a podcast, I was like, what the fuck is a radio show? He's like, no, man, a podcast. Told me what it was. Boom.
But
fast forward to 3 years later.
Yeah. But the first time I had you on my podcast, then I had you on again, and I was like, it's fucking good.
But this is why I care so much about this thing. Who was with us when we decided to start a podcast? Not Fox, not the UFC. Who helped us get this podcast to where it's at? Not Dana White, not Reebok, not Conor McGregor. No one.
Right.
We were doing it in some bullshit studio off, was it Casio or whatever in Los Angeles. We just stuck with it. 2 guys, a mic, and a producer. That's it. And look what it's become.
Yeah.
And it's continuously growing. And why is that? You know what I'm saying? It's hard work, man. We just don't show up. What? No.
But
that's the thing. You can't credit to anyone. There's certain times in life where you get lucky here, or in fighting you get this matchup, and they put marketing dollars into you, and they'll market you this way. No one's marketing the fighting kid.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind. Like if you work really hard at something, like even when you work out a lot, you get more energy. You don't get less energy. Like it builds on itself. Momentum builds on itself. Like if you just keep pushing in that direction, you'll get better. Like I don't have the energy to get in shape, just start lifting, start working out, and it'll build on itself.
Yeah.
You'll have more energy unless you're doing it 5 times a day. But so I think there's two things. Energy begets energy, momentum. And the other thing is I heard somebody say this, a director say, she's actually directing Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins, said, one honest, authentic movement, impulse, action, let's call it action. One honest action will follow another honest action. Like that's how she teaches her actors, in big time actors. Like if she's working with like Academy Award winning actors, she'll always remind them, just make one honest action, take one honest action, say one honest thing in this scene and just follow it. It's kind of like, it'll inform
I think
itself.
success is contagious. So like my buddy Tarek, who I was in San Francisco with, successful gym, he was a successful football player, successful coach. He does all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Successful businessman. And then he just went into the food business. And everyone told him, don't go in the food business. 99% of the people fail. He's like, well, those are 99% of the regular people. So you're talking to a dude with a crazy work ethic, and I've failed before. So if it doesn't go right, I'm going to keep grinding till I get it right.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the difference between a successful athlete and a guy who doesn't make it.
And like you said, it's not a failure. It's just a learning process. Oh, I just learned how not to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's not a failure. I just learned how not to do it.
No, it's like this door's shut. Try this one. That one's shut. Try this one.
Yeah.
But when on your way to finding those other doors, people may tell you, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
No, it's a waste of your time. 90% of people fail. You shouldn't do a podcast. There's no money in it. Don't do T-shirts. That's a terrible idea. There's too many out there.
Well, Rogan always says, like, if I start talking, I was with Rogan, we were turkey hunting, and I started talking about a couple of friends of ours who are not doing so well. And Joe got so, like, weird at dinner. We were drinking wine, just he and I, and he started getting all fidgety. I go, what's wrong with you? He goes, bro, I can't talk about people like this. I go, why? He goes, I can't even talk about failures like this because I feel like it's contagious. I start to freak out and
Success
feel
is
claustrophobic.
contagious. You want to surround
And that's why
people
he
like
will
that.
not, if he sees like people who are energy sucks, like vampires, like people who have excuse, he runs away.
same.
He'll be nice. He'll be like, hey, how you doing? And runs away.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah. You got it.
Like if a friend's down, he's in need, he can call me.
Yeah.
But if someone I barely know, and I get people hitting me up all the time, hey, I want to talk to you about your podcast. I want to do this. I want this training. I'm like, no, you don't have the work ethic, man. So I'm sure as fuck not wasting my energy on you.
Yeah. Well, that's like I told you, somebody asked me about losing weight. and I gave them just 2 chapters to read in two books. And I just want to see if they would read the books. They didn't.
Of course they didn't.
I was like, oh, well, then that's
There's a reason they're fat.
yeah. So
They can't read the books.
there's your
invest
lesson,
in time.
kids.